Hello, everyone. So, welcome to the other part of SQL functions. So, in this part, we are going to be looking at advanced SQL functions. So, in the other part, we look at some basic and intermediate SQL functions like the select, having, group by, hybrid functions, the comparison operator, logical operators, and many more. But in this part, we are going to be looking at advanced SQL functions. And the first one we're going to be looking at is the joins. So, what is join and what is it used for in SQL or SQL queries? In SQL, a join is a clause used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a related column between them. So if I'm trying to like make table A, table B together, then I use join to do that. But before I can join them together, there must be a related column. That is a column common to the two tables. And we actually call them all those type of columns primary key or foreign key. Joins are essential for retrieving data from multiple tables in a relational database. So it is used for retrieving information. Let's say, for example, now I want to retrieve information that has to do with the sales, the customer, and the product table. Then I have to join them together using different types of join that really suited that type of thing I'm doing and extract the information. So we can also call join as data modeling, just a way of like modeling your data, just to extract useful information from them. So what are the various types of joins that we have? So we have the inner join, we have the left join, we have the right join, we have the full join, and we have the cross join. So when and how are we to use all these joins to solve or to retrieve information from tables? So the first one we're going to be looking at is the inner join. So inner join returns only the rows that have matching values in both tables based on related columns. Returns only the rows that have matching values in both tables based on related columns. An example is this. We have a table, table A and table B. So table A contains information about the student's ID and the name, while table B contains information about student ID and department. Now, if I'm to use inner join to retrieve information for these two tables now, it's only going to return the rows that are common to the two tables based on related column. So for example now, the related column that we are using here is the student ID because these are the columns that are common to the two tables. And the rows that are common based on this related column is just what is just this row, which is the uh rows that are with the student ID 1004. Because 1004 add what is the rows that is common to the two table, and that is what is going to return. So this is an example of what of a inner join. It only returns the rows that have matching values in both tables based on the related columns. Now we have the left join. Left join returns all rows from the left table and the matched rows from the right table. And one thing about this is if no match is found, null values are returned for columns from the right table. So an example is this. When you are using left join returns all the values on the what? On the left table and the matching ones from the what? From the right table. And if there's no matching values from the what? From the right table, it returns null. For example, now I'm trying to like merge student ID with this table A and table B together. Now we have it's going to return all the values that we have on students on table A, which is the student ID 1001 to 1004, and find the matching values from it from table B. But if there's no matching value for it in table B, it's going to return null. That's why we have null under these department columns in the returning or the output table. So that is that for left join. Now, the other type of join that we have is right join. So right join is quite similar to the left join, just like the name right and left. So what does right join do? It returns all rows from the right table and the match rows from the left table. If no match is found, no values are returned for columns from the left table. So for example now, we have the student ID and the name for the left table, and we have the student ID and department for the right table. So for this type of join now, it returns all the information on the right table and any matching one from the left. And if there's no matching one from the left, it returns null as what? As the value. So for example, now we have student ID 1004 to 1008 on the right table. So it returns everything. So any matching one from the left, which is 1004. So it returns the value for it. And the ones that we don't have value for it from the left, it returns no value as their resulting value. And so that's how the right join works. Just the opposite of left join. Now the full outer join just returns all the rows from both the left and the right table. So it returns the all the rows that we have both on the left and the right table. And if there is no like matching rows between them, returns null as the value. So it returns all rows when there is a matching one of the tables. If there is no match, the result is null on the side that does not have a match. So that's how full outer join works. Now, the next one we want to talk about now is the cross join. So cross join returns the Cartesian product of the two tables, meaning every row from the first table is combined with every row from the second table. So we have table A type and we have table S type. So what this one is going to do is it's going to match all the rows in table A type with all the rows in table S type. An example is this. It match all the rows in what? In table A type with all the rows that we have in table S type. That's what A, B, and C. So you match everything together. So that's what we know. That's what we call cross join. And those are the various type of joins that we have in SQL queries. Now, the next one we want to talk about now is date functions. These are other advanced SQL functions. We have date function. But before we go to date function, let me just show you some example of how these joins or how you can write a query for join in Postgres. So I'm going to switch to my Postgres now, just to write some queries. Now, for join now, we have three tables here. Just we are still using our diners table. So we have three tables. We have the sales table. So if I try to call the information from the sales table now, just for you to see. So we have the sales table. We have the member table. Then we have the menu table. Those are the three tables that we have from diners database. So if I try to run it just for us to see, so to check out the information that we have there, can see we have the customer ID, we have the order date, we have the product ID, and also we have the for the members. For the members, we have the customer ID and the join date. While for the menu, we have the products ID, product name, and the price. So that's that for the tables that we have. So how do we now apply this join to it now? So with the first join that we have is inner join. Now when you are using inner join is also known as join. So when we call can easily use inner join or join. They are the same thing. So if I want to write a query to join two tables together, I can either use inner join or join. They serve the same purpose. So to do that now, so before I can join now, like I said earlier, there must be a related column. So I have to see the tables I'm joining together and see what are the related columns that I have on them before I can join them together. So for example, now when I check the sales table, sorry, so when I check the sales table, I have the customer ID information and I have the order date and the product ID. So when I check the members table, I have the customer ID information. So I can join the sales table and the members table together using the what? Using the customer ID because that's a related column. So to do that, I'm just going to write select, that is everything which is asterisk, that is return all the rows, all the columns from the two tables. From sales, which is the fourth table I want to join, or you can also use inner join. Join, then the name of the second table you want to join, which is the members. Members. The next thing is after stating this, so the next thing is you have to state the column you are joining them on, which is the related column. So I'm going to say on what? On sales dot customer ID. So you have to identify the column you are joining them on from different on the different tables. Because you know they can have different names. It might not be the same name like we have it here. So they can have different names, but they have the same content. So you have to like specify state it like this. On sales or customer ID equals to members dot customer ID. So if I return this now, this one is going to return the matching row based on the what related columns. So if I redo this now, then I have my matching rows. You can see that this one is returning only the value for customer A and customer B. The reason being that there is no customer C. We have customer C on the sales table. We can see we have customer C on the sales table, but there's no customer C on what? On the there's no customer C on the members table. That's why it's returning for those. Now the next one we want to do now is left join. And so for me to do left join, I'm still going to be using these two tables. So it's going to be select um asterisk from, so in this case, the first table I'm going to be typing now is sales. Sales left join, then I have to put left join. Um, so the next one is members. Left join members. Then I have to still the column I'm joining them on sales dot customer ID equals to members dot customer ID. So yeah, I think that's that. So if I run this now, let's see our resulting output. So we have you can see now it's returning all the what all the values that we have on what on table A, but we don't have values for what's it called customer ID C on the members table. That's why it's returning null for it now. You can see it's giving preference to the table on the left, which is the sales. That is left join. So if you do the same thing for right join now, so let me just copy this code so that and just paste it. So it's just the same syntax. So for this, just going to change it to what? To right join. And if you run this now, you can see there is no null because it's actually working with table what? Table member. So it's only returning the value in the member table, which is A and B, and it's not returning any null because we just look for the matching one from the what from the left table. So that is um right join. So the next one is full outer join, which is select use full outer join, select um asterisk that is everything from sales. So for this one, you're going to type in outer join, full outer join members from okay, sorry, members on. So you have to put it on sales dot customer ID. Let me just copy this because of our time. So let's paste this. So if I run this now, so it's returning all the words, all the rows from the two tables, and the one that doesn't find that he couldn't find any value for it is returning what null for it. So that is the full outer join. And the next one is the cross join. Cross join is just going to like cross all the value on the sales table with all the values that we have on the product table. So that's what we have the cross join. So select star from sales, just cross join members. So this is this. So when you run this, I'm going to get the resulting output is cross join. You can see it's crossing everything, all the values on the sales table with all the value that we have on the uh on the members table. That's why we have like 30 rows because you have to cross everything. On the sales table we have how many rows there? We have 15, I think 15 rows. And on this other one, which is the members, we have two rows. We have only two rows here. So two times 15, that's what we have 30. So that's we have two rows. So two times 15, that's why it's 30 rows. So that's that for the joins. Now the next one we want to talk about now is the date functions. Now we have different types of date functions in SQL. So we have the current date, we have the current time, we have the current timestamp, we have the now, we have the age, we have the extract date part, to char, to date, to timestamp, and interval. So these are the different date functions that we have that we can use to manipulate the date columns or date data within SQL queries. So let's look at how this function is used in real sense of it. So I'm going to switch back to my SQL just to check the functions. So now we have the first functions here, which is the current date. So current date returns only the current date, like based on your date that you have on your laptop, set on your laptop. So if I use like I select current date, this is going to return the current date for me, which is this. This is only going to return the date. So that's current date. So the current time also returns only the time, which is you can see it's returning both the what is only the time. That's like based on the time I have on my laptop now. So the next one is the select current timestamp. So we have the timestamp, we have the date, we have the time. They just return both the current date, current time, and current date and time using the timestamp. So this is the current date and time now for the timestamp. And why select now? Select now is going to return the current date and time also. So very soon we are going to see how all these things work. So select now is going to return the current date and time. While the age returns the difference between two dates. So it tends to return the difference between two dates. So for example, I say what is the age difference between what is the difference between 2004 0520 between these two dates now? You can see if I run this, so it's going to tell me the difference between two dates based on years, month, and day. You can see the difference between these two dates is 24 24 years, 4 months, and 28 days. That's like 2029 on the 29th of May. Yeah, that's May 2024, and on the 1st of January 2000. So the difference between them is 24 years, 4 months, and 28 days. Now, how can I now apply these things to like my dates? For example, now, so let me check out the sales table now. I have some dates column in the sales table. So let's see how we can use this one to manipulate. Because we have some other date now. So if I wanted to find the difference between this date and now, like what is the difference between this date and now in another column, then I can use the age for that. So the difference in terms of days, month, and year. Sorry, yeah, in terms of days, month, and years. So select age. So I'm going to type in uh other date, which is the column other date, and I'm going to type in probably now for current date. Let me just say current date because that one is actually on current date. Current underscore date. So select age as I can put this one as different from sales table. So this one is going to create the column. But let me put in the order date first. Order dates, comma. Yeah, so to run this now, let's get this and see what is going to return for us. You can see that this one is returning the difference between this order dates and the current dates. It's based on the way I arrange it. This current date is actually higher than the other date. That's why it's actually showing negative. So the difference between the two dates is minus 3 years. So let me put this current date first so that we can get what I'm actually talking about. So correct. Yeah, this is more like it. So if I run this now, so the difference between the other date and the current date is 3 years, 4 months, and 28 days. So it's just giving us the difference between the two dates based on year, month, and year. So that's the age. That's what age is used for. So another thing we want to talk about now is extract. Extract is actually used for extracting a date parameter, probably the year, the month, or the day from the date column. So that's what we use the extract for. Extract part of the date, such as year, month, day, hour, from the date column. So to do that, I can just select extract. You can say I already have a date here. Select extract year from this particular date. And if I run this, so it's telling me that the year from this date is 2024, and you can see it's 2024 in which sense of it. So if I try, let me use this extract for the sales table, which is the other date. So if I say, okay, select everything, comma, extract into brackets. So from the extract, then you put year from other dates as year, comma, extracts into bracket again, month from other dates as month. Let me put yes here as yes. And let me do the last one. Extract probably now. Extract. Let this one come down so that we can have much space. Extract into brackets. D from other dates as dates from sales table. So if I run this now, so I'm extracting, returning all the column, and I want to extract the year, the month, and the day from this other date column from the sales table. If I run this now, the extract function is going to extract the date for me. So if I do that, okay, from order, okay, I need to order date here. That's my bad. So let me just do this in more space. So let's see. When we run this now, you can see now we have the year, we have the month, and we have the day on a separate column. Now, so that is this. So for extract now, extract is going to return the year and the month and the day in front of a like in form of a number. So let's say for example now I want to like extract the month, like the month name now. So to do that, I'm going to use another function known as the char function. So this is the to char is to extract day and month name. So if I wanted to extract day and month name from a particular date column, then I can use this function for that. So let me just say, okay, to char now day. Like I want to extract day from it now. So this one is giving me what day based on the weekdays. So let's do that for this. Let me just extract this, copy this column. This query now and put it here for to char. So instead of using extract, I'm going to use to char now. So let me see the chart for this and for this. So mind you, this one does not use from. You just have to separate the variable by comma. And for this. So I'm going to like okay. So for this now, remove the from and separate it by comma. And what comes first is the date. Then after that is the value that you want to extract. So for this one, I want to extract day. And we have to put them in quotes. And this one also, comma, year. And this part, last one is the month. So I put it in code month. So if I run this now, you can see now I'm getting you can see I'm getting the name of this thing in years, like this 1 year, and I have this other one that is which is the month name, and this one is in days. So for this now, if I'm trying to like extract the year now, I'm not going to use to chart. I'm just going to use probably extract so that you get the years like the numeric form where I want it. So that's that for that's for date functions. Now the other one that we have is the date part. So date part is similar to extract. It's just to return the part of the date, just like we have there now. So we are on the date part. So this date part is actually extracting the year from me. So if I do that for, let me just quickly just do for one. Select date part, to bracket year. So you have to put in quotes, comma, other dates as years from sales. So that's what I want to return. It's going to return the years for me. And that's what I have. So you can actually do that for every month, year, month, day, hours, and stuff like that. So the next one we've actually talked about this to char and to date now. Talk about to char. So another thing is that you wanted to convert a date to probably a string. You can also use to char for that. Like you see it in the other part. So if I'm trying to convert a date to char to a character or sorry to a string, I can use to char for that. And he has converted this thing. This thing is in a date format now. You can see he has converted to a text. So that's the now. So let me just quickly try that for the other date column so that we can see what I what I'm saying. If I do this now. So let me just put in the other date here. So I have to get the format at which the other date is arranged. It must be in the same format here, like year, month, and day. I don't even know the format it's I think it's the same format. Let's just try this thing. Let's see. As date from sales. after this format. Yes, it's the same format, and you can see he has converted the order date, which is the date column to what to text. So if you want to convert it back to, you want to convert it from text to date. Probably you have a column that is the date, but it's saved in text data type, and you want to convert it to date. Then you use to date function for that, and that is that one. That is how it's going to work. And also, if you wanted to convert a string to a timestamp according to a specified format, let's say you have a date now, and it's in a text form, and you want to convert to a timestamp. So you have to like just put the date there and actually put what I mean by timestamp, like you have to like put in the time zone. It's a date time with time zone. A timestamp is a date time data type with what with time zones. So you have to like put the column of the dates you wanted to convert to a date time with timestamp and also specify the format at which you want to convert it. So that's and the next one is the interval. Interval is just like create an interval, a duration of time. So you wanted to find a duration or find a duration between a particular date, then you can use the interval. So uh I want to like forever find the interval between now plus 1 day. So if I do that now, so you can see it's adding a date to this current date and time. So I can also do negative. I can actually minus from it. Like, okay, what is this other date minus 2 days? Then it's going to give me the resulting date. So let's do that. Select other dates, other dates, comma, other dates again minus. So you just have to minus, put the interval. So what interval do you want to like remove from it? Just put probably 2 days. Now from sales. So if I do this now, you can see. So when you remove when you add 2 days to this particular date, now this is what I'm going to get into. So when you add 2 days to like 1st of January 2021, then it's going to be uh when you remove 2 days from 1st of January 2021, then it's going to be like okay, 30th of December 2020. So that is that. So you can add, you can remove days, you can remove hours from different dates and time period, just for you to get intervals or durations of time. So that is that for the order date functions, and that's that for the date functions that we have, and different way you can manipulate date functions. So the next one we want to talk about now is this. Let's quickly go to our slide because of the time. We have the string functions. Sorry, this is actually so tiny. So we have different type of string functions, just like we have the string functions in Excel. You know, when we talk about Excel, we have different type of string functions. We have the length, we have the lower, we have the upper. So length is just to check the returns the number of characters in the string. Lower converts all characters to uppercase, sorry, to lowercase. While upper converts all characters to uppercase. We have the init cap. This intends to like, okay, convert the first character of each word to uppercase. That's init cap. We have the trim. Trim remove trailing spaces before or after a text. We have the B trim. We have the left trim. We have the right trim. Left trim and right trim is just to remove trailing space on the left hand side and trailing space on the right hand side. We have the substring. Substring is to extract a substring from a string, just a part of string from a string. Position return the position of the first occurrence of a substring within a string. Replace, and we have the replace all occurrences of a specified substring within a string. Concat to merge strings together. L parts, split parts, and many more like that. So you can actually look at all these functions. But let's look at how we can use them in SQL Postgres. So for the string functions now, so the first one we have is the length. Length just return the length of a particular string. Just for example, now select the length of a hello word. So it's going to count the number of characters I have in a hello word and return it for me. So it's telling me that we have 13 character in a hello word. So just like the normal dates string manipulation that we have in Excel. So if I actually say, okay, what is the length of select, just bring this step back. Select everything and the length of product name, length of product name from the menu table. So this is just going to give me the length of product name, just like that. Okay, I didn't put comma here. Let's put a comma here. I run this. Then I have, you can see now, I have the length of all the characters. So sushi is of, it has 5 characters, curry has 5 characters, and ramen has 5 characters. So that's just that one. And just we have lower. Lower is just converts everything to a lowercase, just like we have in this thing now. Lowercase. And so if I call this thing now, just copy the same string and just paste it here and put probably lower. Lower is going to convert everything to lowercase. You can see everything is in lowercase before, so let's just convert this thing to uppercase for me to use uppercase. That's upper. So it's going to convert everything to uppercase. So you can see we have sushi curry and ramen. Just like that. So trim is just for removing trailing spaces. So if you notice that there is a trailing spaces, and this is a kind of like data cleaning process. Trailing spaces is just like space before or after a particular uh text. For example, now I put a trailing space before and after this hello world thing. So if I use trim now, trim is going to remove trailing spaces before and after a particular character. And you can see it's only returning hello world for me. So if I do L trim too, L trim is going to remove the space on the left hand side. You can see it leaves the one on the right hand side there. While the right trim is going to remove the space on the right hand side and remove and leave the one on the left hand side that way, just like that. So just trims is used for your data cleaning because you don't know whether there's a trailing space between in a text column. And when you have a trailing space in a text column, if you have, let's say for example, now I have James now. James has a trailing space before it, and I have another James in the same column that doesn't have any trailing space before or after it. Then it's going to see them as a different value. So that is why it is actually good to remove trailing spaces before and after a character, just for uh to avoid any form of error later when you're analyzing your data. And substring is just for removing a part of a string. So for example now, select substring. This is a string I want to extract, a low word, and I want to extract from 8 for 5. So if I return this now, so is extracting the string from starting from the 8th. That is, start your extraction from position 8 and extract only 5 characters. So the 5 characters you're returning is word, which is WORD. But you started the extraction from the word from the 8th position. Because if I count it now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. W is in the 8th position and is extracting 5 from it. So that's that. And that's for extracting substring. Then we have returns. We have return the position of first occurrence of substring. So word in hello world. So if I return this, if I run this now, so it said returns the position of the first occurrence of a substring within a string. So the first occurrence of the substring that I have here, which is the word, is on position 8. Remember strings start from position 8, just like we have here now. So it's returning the position of this where this word start from this O text, which is the hello word. So it's returning the word, which is in position 8. That's why it's returning 8 from it. Now replaces all occurrences of a specified substring within a string. So if I wanted to replace the word from this hello word string with Postgres, then I'm going to use replace. So it's replacing the word with Postgres from this text hello word, just like that. So I have this now. You can see hello Postgres, no more hello word. So if you want to replace something with another thing, probably okay. Uh the word is supposed to be maybe James now, and they put it as maybe James. So the first one is supposed to be J, but there's D there. So we want to return the D with what? With J. Then you can use the replace function for that. Just like this. So let's say select. Let me use this product name. So select everything, comma, and I use replace. Please, what am I replacing? So let's say replace wherever you see S from the product name, replace it with what? With dish. So replace product name. That's the text I want to replace with something. So what I want to replace, I want to replace everywhere you see S. Replace it with what? Replace it with dish. So that's that. So if from sales table. Oh no, from menu table, not sales. From menu table. So I run this now. You can see instead of like sushi, I'm having do E or something like that. So it's replacing wherever we see S, it's replacing with D. So that's that. Now the next one is concat, just like we have in Excel. Concat is for merging columns together or for merging cells or columns together. So if I wanted to concat hello world now, I can use concat hello world and just use this. You can see I'm concatenating these three words: hello, the word, and the exclamation mark. And you notice that they put a character in between, which is a comma too. So that's what you do for concat. And you can also use the pipe operator. Yeah, I think the pipe operator can be used for concat. So that is select. Let's just try that. I think it's this hello. The pipe operator. That's why the state line. The pipe operator. Where's this pipe operator? Where's the pipe operator? Okay, this is this. I think let's try this first. Let me work. I think it's three pipe operator. Hold on. Mm, I think this has to be in double coded things. Is it? Uh, yeah, this. Hello world. Uh, so you can use the pipe operator. I'm just trying to get what is useful. It's here. So let me do this. Just a minute. Yeah, I know there's pipe operator for it. So it's like either a single pipe operator or a double pipe operator, but I know you can use pipe operator to join your strings together. So okay, let me actually find that out. So yes, it is pipe operator. You can use single pipe operator to concatenate. Okay, I don't think there's going to be a space in this. So let's just uh pipe operator. Let's do it. Yes. So we just like they won't be quotes, just like double pipe operator. So we just join them together. Yeah, so that's it. You can use pipe operator to join strings together, and you just have to put space. Probably after joining this one, I have to put another space, like a space. Then I have to put another pipe operator. So yeah, this is it. So if I run this now, just to get a new word. Yeah, I have a new word. So that's that. So also we can use concatenate with separator. So instead of stating the separator immediately after each string, for example now, I'm putting the separator immediately after each string. I can just state the separator as one. So for example now, so I wanted to join these strings together. Instead of me putting comma between each strings that I'm joining together, I can just state, okay, what is the separator I want to use for all these strings I want to merge? Put it in one place and just join them together. So I want the comma to be their separator and just run everything, and I have everything separated by comma. So the next one is split part. We actually look at okay, it was this part that we looked like. So split part is just to strip. split strings into different parts, just like we have it here. So on specify delimiter. So if I wanted to split these strings now based on this delimiter now, delimiter is like the separator between the strings. So for example, the delimiter that we have for this hello world Postgres is a comma. So if I wanted to split it based on comma now, then I can use split path. And it's going to like I'm going to tell it the path that I wanted to show. So in this case now, split this string based on comma and replace the one in position two. That's why I have two here. So if I run this now, it's going to return only the word for me in this case now, because word is in position two. You can see that. So for example now, if I'm trying to like, let's say I have the name of customers now, or I have a column that contains the name of my customer, probably full name. So I wanted to split them and return only the first name. I can just like split them based on the separator, probably space, and just return the first name. If the first name, then I'm going to return the one in position one. And if it's in last name, I'm going to return the one in position two. So that's that about um split path. Now the next one is the left. So the left is just return the value on the left hand side, the value on the left hand side. So return the leftmost number of characters from the strings. So I wanted to return the five the first five characters from the left. Then I can use this. You can see left, the character you want to extract from, the strings you want to extract from, and the number of characters you want to extract from the left. So that's that. So select hello world and so what we have on the left hand character is what is hello world and space. That's the first character. And same goes for the words. And same goes for the right. So that is what we those are the major functions that we have for the strings manipulation in SQL. So the next one I want to talk about now before I actually go to the next part is cast. So cast is used for converting a data type from one data type to the other. So I wanted to cast a particular variable from one data type to the other, or convert one a column from one data type to the other. I use what? I use the cast. So let's say, let me check my sales for example now. Select star from sales. So I have this thing now. I have the product ID now. So if I wanted to cast this product ID as text, I can just do that. So I'll just say select uh star. Just select customer ID, customer ID, comma cast. So what I want to cast, I want to cast the product ID, and you have to put in what you want to cast as text. Cast the product ID as text as product name from sales. So if I run this now, you can see it has cast the strings. Initially, what we have for the sales for the product ID is the data type is integer. So when I cast it, I tend to convert a column from one data type to the other. That's what cast is used for. Convert a column from one data type to the other. So this one was already an integer data type. So I cast it to what? To text. So that's what cast is used for. So you used to convert a column from one data type to the other. And you actually need that when you're trying to work with data. But sometimes when you get you in your data in SQL, some of your data, which is like, let's say, which is like a number, can be saved in a text format. So for you to carry out any form of like numeric calculations or arithmetic calculation in it, you have to cast them to be a numeric before you can do that. So cast is actually used for that. So those are the basic functions that we have, or functions that we have for text uh, or string functions. So the next one we want to look at now is before we actually rounded everything up is subquery. So what is a subquery? A subquery, a subquery is also known as an inner query or a nested query. It's a query within another SQL query. Subqueries are used to retrieve data that will be used in the main query as a condition to further restrict the data retrieved. They can be placed in various parts of SQL statements, such as the select, the from, the where, and the having clause. So what subquery does is like when you have a query inside a query. And actually, it is used for like filter out the original query. So if you wanted to like filter out the original query that I've already stated, then I can use the word subquery for that. So it's just like a query inside a query. Also call it nested query. So how does that work? So let's actually do some example here. So let's say, for example, I have my select start from sales. So that's that. Now for this now, if I want to return this, how many here do we have? Okay, so I have to okay. Okay, so let's say for example now, I want to return products with customer ID A only. So I want to return the product with customer ID A only. Then I can use a subquery for that. So you can do select, this is an example now. Select star from select star from sales. Now for this now, this is my main the main query is select star from sales. So the subquery will come in now. Where they say we can use it where or select or anything like that. Where let's say customer ID, where customer ID is equal to, then I put another select here. Select. Now this is just like a very long query. So what can we use here? Let me see what we can use here. Let me see what we can use here. Let me see what we can use here. Let me see what we can use. So I wanted to return the rows with the maximum order date. Yes. Let's say I wanted to return the row with the maximum order date now. So I want to return the rows with the maximum order date. So I can do that. So where the order date. So select star from sales. Where order date. Let's just do that. Where order date is equal to select max into bracket order date from sales. You understand now? Select order date start from sales. So if I run this now, so this is an example of a subquery. Like I have a query inside another query. So the main query is this. My main query is this select start from sales. You understand now? But I'm writing a subquery to filter out the result of this main query. That is what subquery is all about. And it can actually be used for where, it can use for having, it can be used for select. That's what the example says the other time. And one thing about subquery is this. When you are running a subquery, it's going to run the query in this subquery first. He's going to run the subquery first before he runs the main query. So he's going to get the result for the subquery first before he runs the main query because it's what is going to equate to the main query. So that's that. That's how the subquery works. So this something like that, which select star from sales where the order date is equal to select maximum order date. So I want to return the rows that has the maximum order date now. So to do that, I'll just run everything together. Can see this is the rows that has the order date. So the one that has the maximum order date is order date 2nd of 1st of February 2021. So that is how to use subquery when you have a query inside another query. So that's what we mean by subquery. So the other thing is that we have now is now I can also try this subquery now. So let's say for example now I want to see those people that actually uh bought bought goods when they became a member, or should we do that now? Okay, let's see, 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 let's see. Let's do that. So the next query that we want to do now is the next thing we want to talk about now is city. City. So what is city? City is also known as a common table expression. A common table expression is a temporary result set in SQL that you can reference within a select, insert, update, or delete statement. City are defined using the with keyword and can be thought of as a way to improve the readability and mutability of complex query. So it's a temporary result set in SQL that you can reference within your other query. That's what the CT is all about. And a very good example is this. let's say I want to actually, I'm writing a very complex query now. Let's say I have select star from sales. Let's not say select star from sales. Okay, let's use select star from sales, comma. Let me now use probably extract into brackets year, extract year from order date, extract year from order date from sales. So this is my this. So if I run this thing now, you can see I actually create a table that contains the what the order dates and let me use month because everything all the year are just the same. So let me use month. Let's say extract month from sales now from sales as let me use as month from sales. So if I run this now, so I have the month here now. So if I wanted to now filter out this particular query now, I want to filter out this query just to return the month with the I want to return the rows with the highest month or sales that we made in the second month. Just return the rows of sales in the second month. So I want to return the rows of sales in the second month. So that's that now. So I'm actually referring this table. So for me now, I can put this table which I'm actually referencing in the form of a city. And to do that, to start a city is going to be with after which you have to start with the table name with table just give it another name. In table A, give it any name as then you open your brackets. So the query now with table A as then you close the bracket. So your query has to be inside the bracket. So with table A as, so you've actually defined your table now. So to write the other query now, I say select star from table A. So I'm referencing the table that I have up here, which is this table A now. First table A, start from table A. Now where, because I wanted to filter out the rows of sales in the second month, where month is equal to 2. So to do that now, so I'm referencing this table for the other query. So I can hide as many queries as you like for this particular thing, or you can create as many tables as you like within a single query. So for me to run this query now, I just have to run them together. So to do this now, it's not good. And you can see it's returning the sales transaction sales we had in the second query. So that is actually what we have for city.